Good morning and welcome to the Daily Nudge. I certainly appreciate you tuning in. Let's get right in to today's nudge. Is there anyone out there that has ever said, I am sick of my spouse being miserable? I'm not sick of a miserable spouse. I'm just sick and tired of my spouse being miserable, or somebody that I love being miserable. My parents are miserable. My kids are miserable. I'm just sick of having to deal with people that are just miserable. They have no spark in life. There's no joy in their heart. They just are miserable. Maybe you're just fed up with the negativity or the complaining or the silence. It's hard. And instead of this, though, instead of just becoming angry, let's talk this morning about how maybe we can figure this out and work out something to where there isn't that kind of misery in the household. I heard one guy say he and his wife work things out all the time. They said they've been married 20, 25 years, I don't know. But he said, we're on our sixth marriage. They reworked their marriages. They had things in their lives that were just making each other miserable. And instead of just fighting and growing farther and farther apart, they just decided that they were going to sit down and work things out. And I like how this individual says, he says, that marriage that you had back then is dead. It's gone. It's over. Now we need to start a new one. We need to begin something new. So I got just a few things and then we'll be on our way. But these hopefully can help you deal with the feeling of being sick of having somebody in your life that just causes nothing but misery. They cause nothing but heartache, nothing but pain, nothing but misery. So these things I want you to take to heart, and hopefully that you can negotiate and figure out a way not to be miserable in your life because somebody else is causing misery in your life. So first of all, stop diagnosing them. Stop the person that's causing the misery. Stop diagnosing them and start listening to them. Stop diagnosing. My wife and I, we do not have the perfect marriage. I know that's shocking to some. I mean, when you see us out in public, aren't we the sweetest little people you've ever met in your life? But I'll tell you, we don't have the perfect marriage. And if I get angry, my wife will, she sometimes comes at me, or has in the past, not recently. This is back when we used to go cuff to cuff, and she would say, oh, there's something wrong with you. She'd say that. And that really helps, doesn't it? Oh, you're off. There's something wrong with you. You're messed up in your head. And that doesn't help. And then I'm sure maybe, I don't know, maybe there were times where I said something that diagnosed her and that wasn't good. So my first point on this is the first thing you need to do if you're trying to work out your problems with somebody that's causing misery in your life, stop diagnosing them. You're not a therapist. You're not a therapist. Don't label them as negative or hopeless. Don't ever say that to somebody. Try saying, I can tell you, this doesn't sound right when I said it. Oh, go to them and say this. What's really going on with you? What's really going on in your life? What's really happening? Don't diagnose them. Ask them, what's really going on? Why are you so miserable? Instead of going, oh, there's something wrong with you, look at them and say, hey, I understand life is hard. What's bothering you? You know, when anger comes into an individual's life or frustration comes into an individual's life, it's because whatever is in their life really means something to them and it's not working out the way it should go. And then you diagnosing them as if you're a therapist, well, there's something wrong with you. That doesn't help at all. What you need to do is look at them and say, what's weighing on you right now? What's your struggle? Where are you struggling? So number one, stop diagnosing them and start listening to them. Number two, you need to look at your own heart. You need to examine yourself. The Bible's very clear. Examine yourself, the Bible tells us. To go into what's wrong with me. You can't fix other people. You can't. I have found that out in my ministry. I look at individuals and they'll have a problem in their life and I'll say, look, this is on you. There's nothing anyone else can do. You need to fix this problem within yourself. You need to own yourself. If you've got a problem in your relationship, Most people go at it like, I'm going to fix that other person. I'm going to let them know exactly what I think. And, you might be part of the problem. You might be the cause, because when you go to ask them and say, what are you really struggling with? What's really going on here? So ask yourself, how have I been showing up? How have I been showing up? What have I been doing to bring misery to this relationship? How am I showing up? Have I been dismissive? Have I been defensive? Have I been distracted or distant? Have I allowed myself to get so far away from this relationship that I'm no longer a help to it? And the other person's misery is coming because there's no connection between the two of you? So first of all, stop diagnosing them. Second, you need to examine yourself. Wait a minute. I can't fix them, but you know what? I can fix me. I can go in and diagnose me. And there's things in my life. I'm preaching this Sunday on, they called me a crybaby. They called me a crybaby. I think you'll want to be there for that. But so here we go. First of all, stop diagnosing them and start listening. If your spouse is miserable and you're sick of them being miserable, stop telling them what's wrong with them and start listening to them. And stop trying to think you can fix them and start fixing yourself. What can I do to make this thing better? Have I been the cause of the misery? Next, number 3, create a space for a hard conversation. You cannot fix a problem in the middle of a heated argument. If you're going at each other, you are not going to fix the problem then. It's just not going to happen. You cannot fix the problem in the middle of a heated argument. What you need to do is step back and say, look, we're not getting anywhere with this. You've got your opinion. I've got my opinion. I'm going to step back and we need to reevaluate. And then tonight, let's come together. Let's say it's 7 o'clock, you and I, let's sit down. Let's get calm. Let's calm ourselves down. And we need to create a space for a hard conversation. I have one of those today. One of those, not with my wife. We're doing okay. She just tells me what I'm supposed to do. But there's a conversation that I have to have with some individuals, and they're not fun. They're not fun. And I can't go at it in a hard manner, but they're hurting other people's lives. And so I have to have a hard conversation with them, not an angry conversation. And I'm going to sit and listen, and I'm going to ask. And by the way, this works out in all situations, not just with spouses, but with everything. Connection doesn't happen by accident. You have to make time for it. You're not going to connect with somebody by accident. You have to make it happen. So number 1, it says this: stop diagnosing them and start listening to them. Number 2, own your part. Look at yourself. What am I doing that I shouldn't be doing? Number 3, create a space for hard conversations. Don't try to fix it in the middle of an argument. Look, you got to step back and say, you and I, this is not good. We've got to figure out when we can sit down and make this thing happen. Number 4, name the elephant in the room. Be brave enough to say, this is the problem. This is what I think is causing your misery that is pushing us apart. I think this is what it is. Am I right? Am I wrong? Be honest with the person. Are you involved in something? Are you doing something? Am I doing something that's causing this misery? Be willing to name what the problem is. You can't dance around a problem. You've got to come and you've got to hit it head on in a gentle, kind, spiritual kind of way, not an attacking way. If you come in an attacking way, you look at your spouse and say, I know why we're miserable, because you're an insane fool. You do that, you're not going to get anywhere. You need to step back and say, okay, what's causing this misery? Why are you and I so miserable? What's going on? And stop blaming and start being honest. So number 5, make plans together. What do you need from me right now? Look at your spouse and say, what do you need from me right now? Then shut up and let them talk. Let them talk to you. And don't get angry. Sometimes the truth hurts. Truth is abrasive. And you rub sandpaper on something, there's going to be a scratched spot. So when somebody comes and you say to them, what do you need from me right now? They're going to tell you. And when they tell you, you can't lose it. You just can't. Then you say, well, what can you and I change together? Look, we're in this for the long haul, right? That's what we said at the altar when we got married. We said, I'm here till death do us part. And you have to have, throughout our marriage, my wife and I are not the same couple we were when we got married. That was 35 years. 35 years ago, we said, I do. And you know what? I did. And she did. And it was exciting, but we're not the same people. This is a whole totally different marriage. And we have to learn each other. And it happens often. We have to sit down and say, okay, where do we disagree? And we're not perfect at it, but I'll tell you one thing, we do better with conversation. Next one is this. You got to protect your own heart. You cannot be a punching bag. You've got to let the other person know, I'm not your emotional, I'm not your mental, I'm not your work, I'm not your punching bag for all the situations you got in your life. Just because something bad's happening in your life, you have no right to come home and use me as the punching bag. It's that simple. Now, I'm not talking physical. If that's happening, call the law. But if you're just making everybody miserable in your life, you're using your family as a punching bag because of your boss or your situation. That is wrong. You married your spouse to love them, protect them, have a helpmeet with them. That's what that's all about. And if you're not having that, then you need to figure out how to have that. So, but you got to protect your own heart. You cannot, boundaries matter. You cannot allow somebody to beat up on you all the time. Last one, you're in it for the long haul. Stay, figure it out. Do everything you can to save that. So here's my nudge for today. Don't just complain about misery. Work it out. Work it out. Misery's there. It's just a part of this world. It's not fun. But my nudge today is don't complain about the misery. Work out the misery. I'll run through those points again. Number one is this: stop diagnosing them and start listening. Number two, own yourself. Examine yourself and see what's going on in there. Number three, create a space for conversation. Look, you got to have the hard conversation. In the middle of the argument is not the time to have the conversation. Step back, saying, look, we're not getting anywhere. Let's set a time, 7 o'clock tonight, 6 o'clock tonight, 5 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whatever the case may be, when you two can be alone and have the hard conversation. Then name the elephant in the room. What's causing your problems? What is causing your problems? There's something there. In married couples, it could be money. It could be family. It could be your sex life. It could be all kinds of different things that are the elephant in the room. Name it. You've got to have the hard conversation. Then make a plan together. Sit down, make a plan together. How can we get around this? How can I make this better? How can we fix this problem together? And then, hey, just say to each other, we're in this for the long haul. We're going all the way till death do us part. And that is the way that we have to live our life. So ask, listen, own yourself, go in and say, you know what? I got to examine myself. I've got to see what I'm doing. And then make a plan and decide that you're going to stay connected. That's how you love. That's how you heal. That's how you fix things. That's how things get better. They don't get better automatically. It takes work. Work is what we have to do in order to make situations work. Thanks for joining me on The Nudge today. I want to encourage you, now that I gave this, go out and do it. Go out and do what advice I'm giving to you. And then have a great life. Just don't live in misery. Don't allow other people to put you in misery without addressing it. Again, come and join me. This Sunday, I'm preaching on They Called Me a Crybaby. They called me a crybaby. It cut to my heart. Cut to my heart. I want to encourage you to be here for that at the church. I'm in my secret, super secret podcast room. Actually, it's my hallway in my house. Only place I could set it up. And then I'm also a realtor. Hey, if you need some help or you know somebody that needs some help, please send them my way. It's my extra income so I can keep doing what I love to do, and that's to be a pastor. Certainly appreciate you joining me. You have a great day. Now go out and do it. Make it happen. Have the hard conversation. Work out the problems. Life is short. You only have one. You might as well enjoy it. Have the hard conversation. Listen, though. Don't diagnose. Listen, and then work it out together. Have a great day. I'll see you. Well, I won't be here tomorrow. It's the 4th of July. I'm sleeping in, which to me means 6:30, but I'm still sleeping in. But you have a great day. I'll talk to you Sunday. I'll see you Sunday at church. Men, I have a men's class. I forgot to say this. I have a men's class. Come and join me in my men's class, 9:30, and then church at 10:30. Come on out and join us. God bless you. We'll see you soon.